Then we'll give it to our facilitator, Brother Panganai, to proceed. And thank you very much, sir.
Right, technology. Good afternoon, everybody. I am Brother Panganai. But in my day job, I'm known as Dr. Panganai. In what I do, I am, apart from facilitating today, I am an educator, and I've been so for the last 34 years in different jurisdictions. I've got a background in the natural sciences, specializing in chemistry with math and physics, and also teetering towards computer science. Not an expert in that area, but an enthusiast. So I speak a lot on ICT and teaching and learning, or integration of technology in teaching and learning. And I'm also an adjunct lecturer at the University of Zimbabwe on the master's program for teachers and instructing on instructional technology. And lately I am a propagator or an advocate for artificial intelligence in teaching and learning. And I run a few schools now, I should say few, probably counting to 4 now. And we are promoting the use of ICT in teaching and learning. So literally I moved from the classroom to being an educational entrepreneur. I did not knock at any bank to say I need money to do that, because I used what I had, along with my wife. And so today I would like to share that story with you, and also encouraging you that you don't need money to start a business, which is, I think, a very misleading misconception. Always people are set back because they say, I don't have money, so I can't do anything. No, that is the devil's ploy to make you stay where you are, when the Lord has made something for you to do greater things than you probably could think you could do. So in this seminar, what we really want to look at is, before I started Windhoek College in Harare, I was a teacher, but I had a side hustle. And that side hustle is the one that then gave birth to the school. And so today we want to look at how could you, if you are fully employed and you'd like to engage in something that you might want to do as a side hustle, how could you possibly do that? And particularly I would be speaking to, although I will try to speak to everybody, but specifically I would like to zero on the young people. If I had an opportunity that the young people that live today had, I probably would have done better than what I've been able to do. So we are going to look at how can you start your side hustle, and how then do you, if you're in business, how do you scale up from a small business to a bigger business, and also how can you leverage on technology to make that happen. Okay, and I will also try as much as I can to sound very simple so that everybody else can tap into what we are doing. But please, if at any point you may have a question or you have not understood what I'm saying, you are free to raise your hand so that we can repeat. So we're going to start off by looking at how do you move from nothing to something. And I'll also try and make this interactive, because already, we are going to be preaching to the converted. Some of you already are in business and you know what you're doing, and so we would also want to, I'm not standing here because I know everything. No, I don't. I work in an industry that thrives on ignorance. Our main stock is ignorance, and that's our stock in trade. And that's what keeps us going. So we are forever learning. So maybe just to give you a background of what I was talking about, let me talk about myself first, because we want to make this practical. When I was in England and teaching at a school in Buckinghamshire, in fact, before that, when I went to England in 2000, December 29, I was landing at Heathrow. 2001, in January, I started work. And a few months down the line, I was coming from Malaysia. I then decided that instead of just teaching and sitting, I decided to teach and then do some private tuition. Something that I was already doing when I was in Malaysia. So that also gave me an opportunity to know London, because I would travel to students' houses. But I was also making extra cash. And this continued on and on until I grew a very big student base. So much that what I was getting after work was as much, if not more, than what I was getting in my 8 to 4 p.m. job. I was enjoying what I was doing because I was working with private students and making real difference for them. I would only do it for 4 hours after work. So that would be about from 4 to 8, and that was it. But it was generating revenue. That was as much as what I was getting during my day job. And from there, this is where I got capital. When I spoke to my wife, if she would allow us to sacrifice our matrimonial home and convert that into school, which she readily agreed, and then that's how we started the school. So this can be spoken of anybody else who has got a piece of land that is lying idle, that's doing nothing. You probably might want to think in terms of what are you doing and what resource do you have. I'm always reminded of Moses when the Lord asked him, what do you have in your hand? And he said a rod, and he said that rod was good enough. And this is what God always does even in business. He is never going to ask you to do something that is really big. He will always say start with what you have. And the first resource you have is yourself. And the second resource you need is willingness, the passion to be able to do something. So firstly, identify what you are interested in. We are going to have some case studies of some people that started something, and then we'll also hear how they moved on to be where they are at the moment. As a student, when I was back in school in 1980, my stepmother was visiting. She gave me $1. And I looked at the dollar and I said, well, I'm going to be buying sweets. But I didn't buy sweets to eat. Yes, I did buy sweets, but I didn't buy sweets to eat. I just looked around the school and saw that students liked sweets. There were this kind of sweets, the round ones, yellow, blue, green. I don't know what you call those ones, those candies. In my day, the students really liked those. And that was my first entrepreneurial activity when I was in school. That is 1980. You can count how many years those are. I was 15, now I'm 60. I took that dollar, borrowed 27 cents from a friend, and went to buy a packet of sweets which cost $1.27 in a shop for those of you from Zimbabwe who know Masvingo. Masvingo is the place, it's the town that you have to transit through if you are driving from Harare to South Africa. Back in the days, it used to be called Fort Victoria. I went to Pinana. They were a wholesale shop. I bought those sweets, and I started selling those sweets. My first sale, I made a profit. I paid back the 27 cents, and then started selling, and I made $10 out of $1. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because money follows ideas. When you hear people talking of investment, people that are called investors, these are people with money, but they do not have the ideas of how they can multiply this money. So they give those investment bankers who needs money somewhere. They take that money, they give to those people who have got an idea to do the money, they spend the money, they charge what you call interest. So money will follow ideas. If you have got a great idea, money will come to you. And I'll tell you, does anybody know a business that you can start without money? It's a challenge. What business can you do or can you start without money? Yes, my sister. Does she use the mic?
Start something with the skill that you have. For example, like what you said earlier on, that you were going to be a tutor. You didn't need a lot of money to do that, except for traveling, and that's where you started. Thank you very much.
Well said, yeah. But there's something I'm looking for. Yes, my sister.
I think you can start. You can start without money. I know that. Because as we have our field, we plant beans and so on. Then we start with your beans. You see that we don't
But
have
you need money to buy the beans, don't you?
The beans, you cannot buy them. We have them. We have them.
You are close. You are very close, my sister. You are very close, and I'll tell you why. You are very, very close. Okay, sister.
All right, I'm thinking of people who have talents. I've seen some guys who just go by the mall, they sing, and people drop some monies by their feet.
Okay, all right. Sure.
You can collect the empty bottles, then you fill it with water, then you're selling that water. You can do it without money.
But you need to find the bottle. you must find the bottles. Right, okay, I will talk from you, brother, and my sister at the back.
You can start collecting firewood.
That's an opportunity. That is if there are no legal controls in terms of cutting wood in your area. Right, let me give the answer away. How many of you eat sweet potato? Do we all know what sweet potatoes are? Yeah? How many of you have ever grown sweet potato? How many of you, raise your hand if you've grown sweet potato? Okay, my sister, I'll come back to you again. What did you do to grow the sweet potato?
I only picked the leaf.
From where?
From my friend's house.
From your friend's house for free,
Yes.
isn't it? For free?
Yes, for free.
Exactly.
Yes.
You can be a sweet potato farmer without sweet potatoes. And those leaves they give you for free anyway. Who is going to sell those? Because the sweet potato is already in the ground. So you simply go and cut. They'll actually allow you to come and cut, and then you begin to plant. You can grow sweet potatoes and make a business out of sweet potatoes without money. All you need is the effort, and all you need is the focus. So again, before you do that, of course, you have to do a simple market research. Look at what's selling in your area if you are interested in agriculture. And I will tell you, why am I using these examples? These are examples that allow people to become self-employed and entrepreneurs with nothing except the will and the effort. Agriculture, I don't know in Namibia. Could you tell me how important is agricultural produce in this country? Is it a good business? Is it a good business? Can you say it louder so that I can? It's good business, isn't it? Right. Agriculture is good business throughout the world. Why? Because people will eat every day. Now, they said we can't start this seminar before people eat. Otherwise, they're not going to be concentrating. Imagine sitting there without having eaten food. You will not be listening to me. You'll be dozing off, isn't it? Or looking back, when is the food coming? So, because people eat every day, and there are people that have got a side hustle in agriculture, and I am also personally tempted to go into that direction, because it's something where you simply need a piece of land. And in nowadays, you probably might not even need a piece of land. Do you know you can grow, we all use green pepper. Green pepper. Do you know that green pepper grows in tins? If those, I don't know, in Zimbabwe we've got the Mazoe bottles, that empty thing. You cut it in half, put soil in there. You can grow tomatoes, you can grow the green pepper in there. High quality green pepper. You can also grow lettuce in there. High quality lettuce. Or if you want to go in the direction of what they call hydroponics. Hydroponics, all you need is a tube, a long tube. Fill it up with water, put in some nutrients there, put in the seeds there, and it starts to grow on pipes. Where there's no land. I wish I had a picture of, I wish somebody was able to, if you guys were able to Google for me hydroponics, just to show them what I'm talking about. It's something that you can do without a piece of land, because we are full of excuses to say, I can't do this because I don't have this. I can't. Look at what you have, look at what you can do, and exploit it. And of course, the first thing you need to do is do a simple market research, isn't it? Let's say, for example, you are interested in producing the green pepper, which takes no effort at all. All you need to do is collect a couple of these tins, and then plant the pepper, and literally it grows on its own. You just have to water it. And after a couple of weeks, you're actually harvesting and probably supplying your local market with good quality pepper. The same thing also that goes for with a certain type of tomatoes. There are certain tomatoes that are also the question is, you simply need to look at the variety that works for you and work with it. Start small, scale it up, and before you know it, you are making money. Oh. This is my sister, what I would have wanted to, I'm looking for something like this. Something like this. Yeah, exactly this one. Yeah. Look, you don't need land. You need a willing brain. And look, this is lettuce, isn't it? This is very, very high quality lettuce, and it's grown on inside pipes. Those pipes, of course, you'd say you need money. Of course, make some effort. Make some effort. Buy those pipes. They're not expensive at all. I know from the plumbers. You get this from the plumbers, and you're growing vegetables, high quality vegetables. And if one had this, in places like the UK, if you can grow this organically, this will make a lot of money because it's organic produce, and people like to eat. Right? Yeah, that's the example that we're talking about there. You see, there's no in the back of your house you can do that, right? And I think that looks like lettuce at its earliest, isn't it? I'm not quite sure. But there are many other plants that you can actually grow. Sister Gore, you do hand up. Okay, can you give me the mic? Yes. Yeah, they're giving him the mic, Sister Gore. Yeah. Just take the mic for him.
You may use some empty bags.
Yes,
those empty
yes,
bags. You put soil inside. Then you go to the market where they throw away the rotten potatoes.
Yeah.
You take them.
Yeah.
Then you started to plant them in the sacks. Then you grow many potatoes there.
Sure. Did you hear what she said? I've seen that. I saw that in, I think that was in Kenya. Somebody at their backyard, they took these empty plastic bags, filled them up with earth, and then you plant in there. It's easy, it's cheap, but it's got very high yield. Yes, my sister?
You can have also the wells where you can put the soil and plant the nuts.
Okay. Let me repeat again why I am dwelling on food. It's because people eat every day. And that's the easiest thing to start with. I mean, if you are not interested in getting dirty, then you can't get the money anyway. Those people that are in mining, they get dirty when they're mining, don't they? Yeah, if you want money, you be prepared to get dirty because money is in the soil. You know, if you are not mining, then do agriculture, right? And then also there is buying and selling. Yeah, leveraging on buying and selling if you've got... but again, what you need to do is look at what's selling. I told you about my story about the school. I saw that the students were interested in eating sweets. So it means I did my market research. I knew what they were interested in. I spent until I got $10. And $10 in 1980, brother Mateo, you were there. I know you were 14 years then. I was 15. Was it easy to come by $10? $10. $10? 1980, Zim? That was impossible. But I had it. And if I had an opportunity, I would have gone on and on and on and on, you know. But of course, I mean, there are certain businesses that have got a limitation in terms of scalability. My market was limited because it was within the school, and I could go so far, but I probably would have had to think about other schools nearby where I could recruit somebody. Now that's called employment, isn't it? You recruit somebody who can sell your product elsewhere, and that's how you scale up. So obviously, scalability is very important when you are doing your business. You need to see how far can you go. But also, in this, again, I'm going to use these very simple examples, and then you can extrapolate them or you can extend them to what you are doing if it's something that's big. Your market is very important. I see generally in our African states, if somebody is selling tomatoes, you will see 100 people sitting there, all selling tomatoes. I think that's really dumb to do that. It's not clever, is it? And they are fighting for the same customer. Oh, come and buy from me, come and buy from me. That's not clever. Why don't you do it this way? Okay? You know that households buy tomatoes every day, isn't it? Why don't you move from house to house and say, I can supply and bring tomatoes direct to your house, instead of spending the whole day sitting in the sun and commuting with 100 people for the same customer? It requires thinking, some strategy. Go around the neighborhood and say, you don't have to come to the market, I'll bring quality tomatoes for you at the time that you need them. What else do you need? Do you need lettuce? I'm going to bring it for you. Be smart. And then once you begin to do that, what you are doing is you are building your customer base. Yeah? When you go out there, look smart, be clean, present yourself, well-groomed, because people like that. When you do, and make sure that your packaging looks good as well. Now, there are a lot of people also that you produce tomatoes. Maybe you are growing tomatoes. Most people, they grow produce without a market. They grow and then they look for the market. I don't think that's very smart. Look for the market first. Like I said, look for people and say, look, I can supply you with this. Would you mind? Would you like to buy from me? I can supply you on, regularly on this. And then secure a market, get that market, and then supply. On that point, Brother Mike, can you come in and tell us what you did and what you're doing? Brother Mike?
Good afternoon. Yeah, I will try by all means to cut it short so that I think we don't have enough time to explain everything. Right, what I did, I came from UK after staying there almost 20 years. Then I got a piece of land, but I didn't know, I had no any equipment or anything to do anything, to plow or do any project on that farm. Then I thought, what am I going to do here now? Firstly, I got $4. I bought a crate of eggs for road runners, those chickens which just roaming around, for $4. Then I took that crate to the incubator. I paid $5 now. Then there were 30 eggs. Then out of 30 eggs, I got only 15 of them. Then I started feeding those ones. Out of those 15, there were 4 cocks, and the rest were hens. Then I put them in a cage. Then they grow up and like that. They started to lay eggs, and I was taking those eggs to the incubator every now and then. Some I will give it to the hens, and then they will hatch them. And within a short space of time, I had almost about 300 of them, and I was selling them $6, $7 each, and I was getting a lot of money. And the other project which I did, on that land, there was a small stream passing by. And that stream, there was a small pond like, which you keep water for some time. Then I just fence a small garden. Then I started planting vegetables on that one. Within a short space of time, I could now start planting almost. First time I bought only 1,000 seedlings of cabbage. And then I managed to get almost $500 out of that. Then I multiplied it and increased the size of the garden. And then, as I am speaking today, I've got 4,000 heads of cabbages in that garden. And it's just what you have, like what Brother Panganai was saying. What you have is that's what you do. You don't have capital to do a very big project. You start small, then you grow as you go. I'm telling you now, from that small garden, I'm now having 3 by 5,000 liters of tanks of water, because I managed to drill a bore later on from that garden. And now I've got a very big garden. We are growing lettuce. We are growing all these type of vegetables and all those things to the market every now and then. So some of these things, you start small and then you grow gradually.
Do we have teachers in the room? Are there any teachers here? Teachers? Raise your hands, I want to see you, my fellow. Right, teachers. Raise again, keep your hands up, keep your hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This time, next year, this time, I want to hear that you all have got crashes. Daycare centers. There is nothing that can stop you from that. Just be very good at your craft. I told you I was a tutor. I became very good at what I was doing. And to some extent, that some parents, they thought I was a miracle worker. No, I wasn't. Getting students that had used to A's. It was because I was passionate about what I was doing. I became very good at what I was doing. So you must all have schools. When I started my school, I had no students. Listen to this. I left England on the 6th of January 2015, having resigned from a job where I was needed. They were even prepared to increase my pay. I said it wasn't about the money. And also leaving my mega tutorial business in England. I actually moved back when my rate per hour was going to move to £50 per hour. I don't know whether I got that one. My rate was £50 per hour. To teach a kid sitting with them for 1 hour, it was 50 British pounds. I don't know what that translates to into Namibian dollars. Why did I do that? I said, well, doing a business, I could have set up a tutorial center in England, but I wanted to do it among my own people. Because home is best. I wanted to make a difference for my people, so I came back. It was like I was making a loss. Yes, I didn't make a loss in terms of making, but I came back. I had 4 teachers and 0 students. I said the Lord will provide. Now I'm telling you the truth. I mean, those of you who know my story, I came from England having resigned from my job. I didn't need to come back to Zimbabwe at all because my family was there. I had a good job there. I didn't have to come back. But I said, no, there's something else to go to give. Today, Windhoek, we see it as a soul-winning school. Because children are preached, the gospel is preached every day to them, every single day. And the school itself, it's a worship center. It's used by one of the branches in Harare. Why am I saying this? When you do something with a focus to serve the Lord will increase you. From 0 students, we are more than 100 plus now in the same center and other students elsewhere, probably getting up to probably about 200. From nothing. You're moving from 0 to something. So if you do it and you say, Lord, I want to serve you with what I have, and your motive is to work for the Lord will definitely increase you. So let's talk about the issue of, now one of the most problematic issues when you are starting a business is, right, let me go back to my tomatoes. If I am buying and selling tomatoes, I can't be using the same money for sustenance. This is what I'm saying. I take part of it, I go and buy bread, I go and buy that. That business is not going to grow, unfortunately. So when you are starting, make sure that the money goes back into the business to grow it. How many of you have experienced what I'm talking about? Where you are selling and then part of it you use it, and before you know it, the capital is gone. Right, you will need to have this financial discipline where you reserve the capital. Look, even when at big business level, what we do, we look at the money that's coming in. Then we say, okay, how much money should go back into the business to grow it? Put it this way, if we had not put back money into our business to grow the school, now some of the people that have come to our school, they see buildings, and there's a brother who was asking me, Brother Miko was asking me, is that building that you're building now occupied? Yeah, that was occupied in September. I didn't answer that question. That was occupied in September. We started building in June, and it's a double-story building for student residents because of what borders. We borrowed money from the bank, but we had calculated, first of all, to see what was the money coming into the business and how much money could we set aside to service the loan. And then, of course, there has to be a very strong financial management where you need discipline in what we call delayed gratification. Delay the joy of using the money so that you can grow the business. If it means that I have to ride a bicycle whilst I am saving money to grow the business, so be it. The problem in our African context, and we've seen it at certain levels where people get a loan. Right, you get $120,000 to build the building. Then you say, oh, 120. Let me take 30,000 and buy a new Mercedes Benz. That's foolishness. But our people, they do that. I'm sure I've seen people who do that. Say, hey, you're driving a new Mercedes. Yeah. God is blessing me. No, you're a crook. You took money that was meant for the business. So money must be put back into your, start small, as we have said, start small, but start with a passion. See what is it that you can do. Do it over and over again and become very good at what you do. And one of the most important things that I want to mention to you, probably that you take away, is something called customer service. Nowadays, right, young people, who knows what's called CX and CRM? Young people? Yes, my sister.
CRM, Customer Relationship Management.
Customer Relationship Management, CRM. And CX? Customer Experience. These are the two key things that are drivers in business at any level. Whether you are selling sweets, whether you are selling tomatoes, whatever, or whether you are providing a cleaning, whatever you are doing as a business, these two things are very, very important. They are also important even in church. If you are going to grow the church, people must have a good relationship with you. People must have a good experience in talking to you. We were talking just before this session that imagine you're going to testify to somebody. The way you approach them, the way you talk to them, will determine whether they will feel encouraged to follow you. That's the Lord's business. In our own business, that's the same thing as well. Will people want to buy from you again? In the way you present yourself firstly, in the way you talk to them, and in the way you present your product, will they want to come back to you? This is also called value proposition. Every business has got its value proposition. In other words, every business has got this thing that say, come to us. And this is the reason why you should come to us. Every business has that. Come to me, because this is what I have to offer to you, which is different from, don't go to everybody else, come to me. What is the value proposition you have? That's very important. And of course, aside financial planning and management. So if you're going to do a business, or if you're going to do a project, firstly, determine the cost. What is it going to cost you? What do you require? Right? And also, think in terms of how are you going to move it further? How long is it going to take you? And the Bible has got this concept as well. You remember what the Lord said? That what man, if he so chooses to build a tower, does not sit down to cost it and see whether he has enough to finish the tower. Otherwise, people are going to laugh at them and say, oh, he started this tower and he can't finish it. Money ran out. In construction, that happens quite a lot. You see people, they take on very big projects and they've made poor estimates in terms of what's in the economy. And then all of a sudden, they find they've run out of money. So you don't want to do that, because you are the person who's going to preach the wrong gospel of saying, don't go into business. I went in there, my hands got bent, I really don't want. And therefore you say, no, I want to work for some people. No. This country needs entrepreneurs. In Zimbabwe, we were taught to become entrepreneurs because of the economic poverty we experienced. Our economy became dysfunctional for quite some time, and this taught, because there were no jobs. There were no people creating businesses to employ people. So what people did was they became self-employed. So now you find that about 60%, if I'm being conservative, 60% of the GDP of Zimbabwe is driven by the informal sector. That is people that are self-employed. And what we thought was a curse was actually a blessing, because we learned how to work for ourselves. We created jobs for ourselves. So young people don't sit around and say there are no jobs. Create jobs. Create jobs. Collaborate with other people to get ideas. And I'll also very soon tell you how you can do that in terms of how you can. I've spoken about marketing and selling your product. I think I've already said that, but I think there's more to say. How many of you use Facebook? Facebook? WhatsApp? Oh, more people on WhatsApp than on Facebook. Okay. How many of you belong to WhatsApp groups? So you already have got a customer space to market your product. You already have. Here's what I see some people doing back home. There are people who just sniff around what's selling. It could be in fabrics, clothing. Then they look at the local stores and see how much they are going for. And then they look elsewhere where they can get the goods cheaper. I wouldn't know what your customs issues are like in here. But in Zimbabwe, I see people traveling to Tanzania. They are bringing these huge bags of clothes, designer clothes from Europe. I don't know where they get them from. And so you find people dress very expensive, but at a very low cost. A shirt costing $1. $1, that would be about what? About 20 Namibian dollars, isn't it? Yeah, about 20 Namibian dollars. Somebody, they're putting on a Gucci. Right. And these people, what they do is that they go, and some, depending on the opportunities that exist, they order from China, because China now produces, what the Chinese have done is they produced enough for their consumption, and then they produced excess for the export market, and they really sell cheap clothes. So some people, they're actually ordering from China, and they've started their. My wife the other day, she went into town. I've got a brother in Christ who grew up with me, whom I grew up with as my own blood brother. It was his birthday, so I wanted to surprise him and buy him a suit. So I sent my wife, I said, can you go and buy a suit for... So she went into town. And then when she was there, she said, oh dear, let me put you on video and see the number of people in this shop. And I'm thinking, in the shop? Suit shop? People buying in the midweek? She said, you have no idea. I just want to show you how many people. There were throngs of people in there. And this is somebody who is running a boutique. And they found where they can get these clothes cheap, and they are selling them at an affordable price. Suits costing as much as low as $30. Or $30 US, I think that should be about 600, about 600 Namibian dollars for a suit. Yeah, a good looking suit. So you need to look for opportunities. Don't just sit. Look around. See smell what's selling. Then, go join them. And so what these people also do is they use their WhatsApp groups to market their clothes or their products. They also go on Facebook, create an account, market their merchandise on there. So they've stopped saying there are no jobs. They are creating jobs. They are being creative about what they are doing. And I'm saying this, and this could be across the board. I mean, you've got schools around here, don't you? Right, see what those schools need. Do they need exercise books? Can you get those exercise books cheaper somewhere? Do they need pencils? Can you see whether you can get pencils? Do you know if you, somebody did this maths for me. If you bought 1 million pencils, because pencils are very cheap. If you bought 1 million pencils and you sell them for 5 cents each, how much money would you make? Young people, give me the answer. You have got 1 million pencils and you sell each pencil for, let's be, for 3 cents. Let's go down. You sell it for 3 cents. How much money do you make? How much? $30,000. I hope you're right there. 30,000. Listen, selling something that is cheap, you leverage on the numbers. 1 million pencils. Be a specialist in pencils. Let them know you as the pencil supplier. When they want their pencils, they call you. You supply them with the pencils. So these are some of the ideas that you have to look at. When you're looking at a business, don't look at everything. If you are going to sell tomatoes, make sure you are the best tomato seller there is to be known. If you are going to sell vegetables, let them know that there is somebody who cannot be beaten when it comes to that, because of the way you structure your product and how you sell your product as well in terms of marketing. The other thing, young people, I've asked you whether you've heard about artificial intelligence. You have? Okay. Let me see if I can make a live demo. Let me. Some of you say, where do I get ideas? Artificial intelligence now can also help you to get ideas. Let me use, I think, the most common one. I hope it won't give me feedback, because when I tried the demo last time, it gave me feedback. Hello, Copilot?
I'm here, Felix.
Say that again.
I'm here, Felix.
Right, so Copilot knows me, my name, because I personalized it. Copilot, can you tell me, if I was going to go into a business of selling tomatoes, could you have some ideas of how I can go about to be the best seller of tomatoes in my neighborhood?
Absolutely, Felix. To sell tomatoes successfully, focus on quality and customer relationships. Know your market.
Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said? Focus on. And now, this guy, let me just put him off for now because of feedback. This guy, whom I'm calling this guy, that's artificial intelligence. It's for free. Yeah. It's an app that you download onto your phone. And then you can talk to them all day long if you want. Tell them what you want to do and brainstorm with them. In academics, we're also using them to churn out ideas, and it's being applied across all industries. Across all industries. What we are trying to do also is, because in Africa we are consumers of this technology. In my school, we are trying to develop the technology. We have actually developed the technology, this AI, a teaching and learning AI, which speaks the indigenous language. It speaks Shona and it speaks Ndebele. But what we are also trying to do is, and this is being done by young people, we are empowering young people to do these things. So we want them also to develop, what's the language here in Namibia? What's the indigenous language apart from the... We want it to speak in Shwambo. Is that in Shwambo? Exactly. Right. And the young people, you can also participate in this. Find out how you can learn more about artificial intelligence, how you can actually provide services and products based on AI. But for the tomato seller, talk to AI. It will give you ideas on how to become the best seller in your neighborhood. But it has already told you, isn't it? It told you about customer experience and quality. That's all you need. Quality product, best customer experience. You've got, and this applies across whether you are operating a big business. Most businesses, they don't grow because customers have got very bad customer experience. How do you talk to your customers? when they call, how long does it take before the call is answered? Thank God, in my business, we now have created a technology company that's working on developing artificial intelligence solutions. So we are also looking at automating some of things, like when somebody calls in, the artificial intelligence takes over to answer the call. And it will speak in a way that's better than the human being, because it's not rude, it doesn't delay, it greets politely, it makes the customer feel very, very important. But we are training them so that they can answer all questions about the business without the human intervention. And we are developing this. Why? Because we want our young people to be empowered. And the young people, they are the future of what we do. So how also can you leverage on AI as an individual? Most of you use iPhone, isn't it? Siri, can you call Brother Graciano, please?
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first. You'll need to turn on location services for that, not to turn it on just this once. We're using Siri.
Right. I just want to demonstrate to you that Siri is an AI. It's an artificial intelligence application. How many of you have used this without knowing that for a long time? Did you know that this was an AI? Siri. Okay, he's still there. No, bye, Siri. He's gone. He says so. Right, so we are saying don't be left behind. Right? Do you need business ideas? Go to AI and ask AI, I want to do A, B, C, D. How best can I do it? It will give you an impressive list of ideas of what you can do. And this applies to everybody. For our elderly attendees, talk to the young people. Tell them, look, I want to do A, B, C. Can you go to your AI and ask how best I can do this? But as I said, here in Africa, we are trying to work on these applications so that we develop them, so that they speak in your indigenous languages. And we already have a startup in Zimbabwe. It's called Vambo AI. They are working on languages, on AIs that have got, I think they've got about 44 languages now. But we don't want to be left behind. What we don't have is the data to train them on. If we can get some written stuff, some data on different languages, we can then train these things so that they can speak in the language, and therefore everybody can participate in this technology. Right, I want to go back to running a creche or a babysitting service. In the Apostolic Faith Church in Zimbabwe, we have said, and as part of the AFC Development Trust move, we have said all church premises where creches can be held, they must be used to bring money. We can't just have properties that are sitting idle. In your branch, if there is space at the back of the church, talk to your pastor. Tell them you want to start a creche there. And remember, creches, this is also an evangelistic mission. These children, you are teaching them to know God. But at the same time, their fees, they are coming to you. And then you can pay tithes. And the church gets money. So we need to use what we have. And starting but of course you need to also understand what obtains within your local area in terms of what are the legal requirements for you to start. And education seems to be one of the easiest directions to go in. If you can't do it on your own, partner with somebody who has got the know-how, and particularly if these are people that are already in that business. And remember, quality comes first. The quality of what you do, and then the customer experience that you give to those people that you are serving. That's what makes businesses. From the smallest business to the biggest business. And we need to be focusing on this very, very much. Because, brothers and sisters, what is going to happen is In certain areas, the development of technology is going to take away your job. Microsoft has lost 6,000 already to AI. You heard me saying automation, isn't it? That answering a call at a business is no longer really, it's a routine job. And AI is taking out all routine jobs. Anything that can be automated is going to be taken away. I was talking to a cousin of mine, a radiologist. I've been experimenting with AI in medicine. And we are also looking at it with our other company to go into developing solutions for medical imaging. You go to a doctor to get a scan taken. That scan is analyzed by a human to give a feedback. AI can do that faster and better. AI will do that in seconds, and it's already doing it. It's just that we want to develop our own local applications so that instead of saying, okay, the results will be out in a week, the results are instantly produced there. And in the areas of engineering, there are a lot of processes that are being automated. I can't remember which car manufacturer this is now, where you almost have the car handled by systems from the moment it enters the production line, right up through to the end. It's all automated. And this is not new. This is not new. Robots, they came on the production line back, at the turn of the 19th century. And so most of the things, most of the jobs that we think we have secure, they will go away. Learn a new skill that AI can't take away. AI will not be able to do plumbing. Learn skills in plumbing. And there's a lot of money in plumbing. Did you know that? And it's a short course that you can take. Young people. Go and learn some skill that you can monetize. I've been hearing stories about young people who learned how to make bricks, for example. And they were making bricks. There are some people that probably would have a small project and they want to build, but probably they don't need many bricks. They can't go to a brick manufacturer and say, I want 200 bricks. These young people, they learned how to make bricks. And then scaled that business because they created a customer base. And before they knew it, it was actually a solid business because it was something that they were continuously doing. And as I've said again, the money is in the debt. So be ready to get dirty. If you are techie savvy, that's good. Look at what's happening on the technology space. Go and learn some new skills. Very soon they are going to be running these courses on how you can use AI to develop some products. For example, writing books. Do you know you can use AI to write a book? Not to write a book, to write books. I've written a book on AI Simplified. That is literacy in AI. Using AI. But of course, you have to be very smart about how to use it in terms of, and there is a lot that will also have to change. But then there are also tools that will help you to kind of curate and make it readable, make it better, so that it doesn't sound like a machine language. I mean, a language that's written by a machine. But a lot of people are publishing stuff with the aid of the AI. Write something for children. Write something. Do anything that you are able to do within your space. Knowledge is for free now. You don't have to go and ask somebody for knowledge because knowledge is for free. Right, so talking of the pricing of your product, if it's very important. I was talking to some brethren and I was saying, don't compete on the basis of price. You will lose it. Do your market research and find out other people that are participating in your space, how much are they selling for it? But what is the value that you've put in it? Do you know there are people that, let me give you an example. In England, Brother Mikhail, remember this shop called, was it Waitrose? Waitrose. It's very expensive. You go into Waitrose, Their products are expensive. But you go in another shop, Tesco, Sainsbury's, the same product costs less. But you'll find there is a certain type of people that go into Waitrose. Why? It's because of the quality of the product that they get from there, and perhaps the customer experience that they experience when they are in that shop. It's like buying a Mercedes and a Toyota Corolla. They are both cars. But the experience that you get in a Mercedes is different from the one that you get in a Toyota Corolla. And so they're priced differently. And still people go to buy the expensive one because of the experience. So depending on how the quality that you put into your product, don't worry about having a lot of people, because sometimes a lot of people also, they give you headaches. You'd rather have a high quality, low customer base, but that gives you high value. I think I should stop here. I think and then have some question and answer sessions. Question and answer session, I think, yeah. Oh, time's gone. Yes, sir.
It's not a question. It's not a question as such, but I wanted just to add on what Brother Panganai was saying. You should know your customers. Do customer research first, then you beat all the other competitors. What we did, we realized that growing vegetables like rape and other vegetables like rape, chomolia, and even the cabbage one. When you go to the market will be flooded and you will not even sell your product. So what did we do? We realized, no, there are very few people who are growing lettuce. And then we did our research, and we realized that all the food outlets, they wanted the lettuce. Then we started growing lettuce. And our lettuce, we make sure that it's quite different from other pharmacies' products, which is produce, I mean to say. But we make sure that we have got manure. We don't normally put fertilizers. We put manure, and you make sure that you lettuce need a lot of water, and you water it very well. And then it will become very big, and then we'll take it to the market. So far, we can't even supply our suppliers. We can't even meet the demand. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So what he was trying to say is just look at the market and see your customers, and you want to how best you can beat other competitors. That would be the best.
I lost track of my time, yes, sir. Time is gone, but are many questions? Any questions? Anybody with a burning question that they might have, or maybe a contribution? I would like to hear from the young people in Namibia. What are you going to do after this? What are you going to do? What are the opportunities that are there that you're going to grab and run with? Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. As a native digital, I use it to work with drop shipping. So I think like right now, I feel motivated to restart or to go back to my business and try to start doing extra profit again. Okay, thank you.
who started their business when they were at school. Some of them are in second, third year, but they are running their businesses. Some of them actually come to do business with us at school. So I want you guys to think about what is it that you can do. Whether you are going to make a unique lemonade, AI can help you to concoct a unique formula for a lemonade that tastes like no other. Or if you are going to think of doing cookies, I like the, what do you call them, these, the muffins. You're reading my mind. Muffins. You can create a muffin that's got a texture that nobody has ever seen, that has got a taste that, think of, when we say innovation, we're not saying recreate the world. We're not saying that. Innovation simply says, you look at something that's very simple and turn it into a beautiful product. Go and learn, for those of you who can be tech savvy, go learn about how to make a website. AI can help you how to make a website. Publish your skills and say, we make websites. We've got students who have done that. And you begin to run and make websites for other people. So you are all going to look at the opportunities that you guys have and look prayerfully at what God can help you to do and start a business while you stay in school. And in the time of life, when we come again back to Namibia in a couple of years or maybe one, we need, or maybe next year, I'm sure the DS would want to hear that this time around, next year, you should be telling us what is it that you've done in your community as a business project, and may God bless you.
Thank you very much, facilitator. And thank you very much, DS, for opening this opportunity. I believe that we have all learned. I've also learned because there's a ECD that I've started, and from this seminar, there are quite a number of things that I've learned. One of the things that he mentioned, even a crash, we've got, at the branch where I am, there's a very big land. I even proposed to the ministers that I would like to bring the type of ECDs that I've started in Musina to bring it to the church. But that one will be for the church, not for myself. So I've learned, I've benefited a lot. So it's possible, young people. You can do this thing. And with ECD that I've started, it did not cost me a lot. But, and it's something that I've started last year. And so far, I've got 4 employees that I've hired, teachers, professional teachers that we got from the university who are working in that school. It's a special school, but it's doing well. And we make sure that's why we had to source teachers from the university so that they give a good quality education from these special children. So anything is possible. Thank you very much. We really appreciate that free information. I think this is the end. We'll maybe probably, if perhaps the DS has got something to say before we close with a prayer.
Thank you. I wish you count me out of this, but it's okay. Oh, I have not looked at you. It's wonderful, isn't it? This is just a fuel station. It's not your destination. So we hope that when you get back to your stations, you will continue with that. And it's available to serve as your mentor in this business. So, but for us in Namibia, it's a continuous discussion. So I think they know how to take it from here. The challenge has been given to all of you. As he said, although there are some legislative barriers, climate barriers, but those are just opportunities to think around the corner. For example, water may be a problem here in Windhoek, but you can think around the corner. So don't say it's impossible. Is there Brother Oscar here? It's not. Okay. I used to know a company, they said, for them, Nothing's impossible. It's your thinking that makes it impossible. So we thank you very much, our facilitator. I knew you are ready to mentor everybody so that in the years to come, you will be independent. You will be independent. And it will help the gospel. It will help your family. It will help your family. When he says you will get your hand dirty, stop scrolling on social media. See how you can convert the time you spend on social media to financial, money earning aspect. Okay? The time you spend on WhatsApp, see how you can monetize your time. If you can monetize your time, it even help your education. Because we found research showing that students spend more time on social media, which is not related to the academic work, than to the academic work. So I think discipline is what it means. You have to get your hand dirty. Discipline is important. Once more, we thank you very much. We know you'll be here again and again, and God will bless you. Can we give me a round of applause? Okay, let's stand up for a closing prayer now. Brother Mateo, he also is an entrepreneur himself. He says, Malawi rice. Next time you are coming, you must bring Malawi rice.
Father God, we want to thank you for this chance that you've given us. We have learned a lot, oh Lord. We thank you, Lord, for this special camp meeting where we are fed with the word of God, and also we are given advices on how to survive in this world. Thank you for the facilitators. Thank you for our dears. Thank you for all the saints who are here. May our Father in heaven provide for all what we need. We want to be successful. At the same time, we want to be spiritual. Help us, Lord, to do this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
God bless you. Thank you.
Notice to the all choir members, we have a break for about 10 minutes and then come back for choir practice. Kindly report back after 10 minutes. All notice to choir members, kindly report back after 10 minutes for choir practice.